I had the idea to make this very short, simple video about kind of just the most important 3 things that I've learned in my career so far as a filmmaker and someone who's trying to build my own career, build a YouTube platform, build a portfolio, whatever it is, just to build something in my career as a filmmaker. These are not like tricks or hacks or things that you've never heard of. I'm sure you've heard all of these things before. They're more of mindsets and things that, run a little deeper than just, fixing some settings on your camera. But sometimes it takes, something that you've heard before, hearing it just one more time to actually do it, or maybe hearing it a different way. So hopefully I can do that for you. And the first thing is probably the first thing that I tell anybody if they ask me, what is the best advice you would give to any filmmaker? And it's such a cliche thing, but it's so true. It's to start out small. Think big picture, have big goals and plans, but take small action steps. I feel like most people just kind of brush it off and be like, oh yeah, I know that. I know to take one step at a time. It's such an important thing to actually implement into your career. For example, a practical thing that I'm doing right now is making a YouTube video. If I want to wake up one week and say, I'm gonna make a YouTube video, that's the goal. That is my goal. That's not enough just for me to say, I want to make a YouTube video. I have to break it down into smaller steps and take it one step at a time. So for example, this week I planned out this YouTube video. I started with, okay, what is my talking points gonna be? What is my script gonna be? Maybe the next day I plan out the locations, if I'm gonna shoot it at different places or shoot one talking head like this. Maybe the next day I get some inspiration from other YouTube channels or creators. So it's breaking it down into smaller steps that make it more achievable to do that one goal. I said this line in my video, What If I Hit Record? What gets most people is looking at the mountain ahead and choosing not to take a step because of the distance they have to climb. And that's so true. I create the biggest mountains in my career, and I always look at that mountain and be like, how am I going to get up there? What stops most people is just choosing not to take a step at all because they see the distance to the top of that mountain. Like literally a couple of hours ago, I tried to film this in a couple of different talking head locations, and I didn't like how it looked, so I scrapped those locations. I could have been like, maybe I just don't make this video, or maybe I just don't film it today, or maybe I just wait a little longer. I'm glad I did that, even if I scrapped the whole thing, because I still took a step in figuring out, okay, I don't like this look, so let me try a different look. Hence why I'm out here trying a different look. The second thing I would say is something that I kind of thought of recently, reflecting my own life and habits, is that your habits reflect your work ethic. And what I mean by this is like your habits in your everyday life, not talking about your career, like your, how you take care of yourself, how you take care of other relationships, your routines each day, that is going to flow into your career. And if that is not healthy, then if you start creating and you become a creative, whatever that is, whoever you are, is going to reflect in your creative career. So for me, I was reflecting on my life and I'm like, I pride myself on being a very organized and clean person in every aspect of my life. I go to the gym, I eat healthy, I take care of myself because I want to take care of myself. I try to, check up on people. I try to keep everything clean and organized around my house and physically and also relationally, just, in my life. And so I was, thinking of my career, like I am very organized and I schedule things out on my calendar, and I do that because I am organized in every other area of my life. That is a really good second point. It's not a point that's like super focused on your career, but it's more looking back and be like, how do I manage the other areas of my life? If I'm struggling in my career, if I'm not, getting things done or super organized, or I'm letting things kind of get away from me, that might be why, because you don't maybe have good habits or routines in every other area of your life. So not trying to call you out, but just saying that is something that I thought about in my life, is that all the areas of my life, I try to keep very organized and clean and take care of myself and all of those things. And that reflects over into my career, and I can see that directly every single day. So the last point is the most important point that I could give to any person about anything that you're trying to do, if you have a goal that you want to complete. But in my career and for making YouTube videos, for making, building my portfolio, whatever it is, the most important thing that I could say from one filmmaker to another is planning. I'm not going to write it out, but planning, and then the little arrow, like the greater than, action. Planning is much more important than action. Nope. I got that backwards. Planning right here, and then the little carrot thing, but like sideways, and then action. Action is way more important than planning. You could plan something all day long, and this is great. Planning is the first step. I love planning things. I think it's so much fun to dream and to plan. But the sad thing is I know so many people who plan things so well, they dream all day long, and then they don't do anything with it, and there's no action involved in that plan. And that is the most, I think the most crucial mindset you can have as a creative, is to take a plan that you've made and to actually do it, to actually make it happen. And these all kind of run together. These are all kind of similar. This one's very similar to the first point, but I want to kind of summarize and end this video with those two words. Action will always be much more important than planning. You can plan all day long, but if you don't do anything with it, then there's really no point. I mean, there's a little bit of a point because you plan something, you have an idea of what you want to do, but if you didn't, you know, take the small action steps and take care of other areas in your life and make sure that your career is organized and you're making things happen, then nothing's going to happen in your career. And I think it's just a good one to end on. Having those two words with the caret, I don't know what it's called, greater than symbol in the middle is a great little visual to have. Go plan something, go dream and make a video idea, but then make it happen. Actually take action on it. And it's a lot easier said, it's, you know, if I'm saying it right now, than to actually do it. But just to know that just planning something isn't enough to make a video come to life. You actually have to film it, edit it, break it down into small steps, and go past the planning phase. I see so many people stuck on dreaming and planning and they never do anything with it. And I'm like, you need to do something with it. And I've tried to train myself to be a creative who simplifies what they dream and what they plan. I don't want to just dream myself away. I want to make sure that what I'm dreaming and planning is big and it's challenging and it's like, oh my gosh, can I actually do that? But it's something that I can actually do and take action steps on. That would be the last thing I have to say, is that action is so much more important and will always be way more important than planning. Even if the plan's not good, as long as you did something and made a video, you got something out there and you can improve upon the next one. That's my short little, hopefully informative and inspiring, just the most important 3 things I've learned as a filmmaker. Just a little conversation from one filmmaker to hopefully another filmmaker who is looking to grow and improve and to find mindsets that will help them do that, and not just like technical things like what camera should I buy. That's not that important. If you don't have these things etched in your brain, you might not go very far. Hopefully that helped. This was just a fun little video in my backyard. I currently have some back sweat going on. It's a little toasty out here. Thank y'all as always for watching and for coming along this journey. I'm excited to keep creating and making videos that will hopefully inspire and help and entertain, all 3 of those things. So see y'all on the next one, and enjoy the warm weather if you're in the northern hemisphere. Northern hemisphere. All right, bye.